Good afternoon. Well, I'm still here, same day in the office after my return yesterday, and still feeling pretty good. That method of knocking yourself out with some cold medicine like NyQuil to get you extended sleep works pretty well. I'm still pretty fresh considering. I want to show you one of my souvenirs now that I have been to Israel 6 previous times. I'm not hauling a lot of olive wood and other stuff back. But I saw something, I've seen it before, but this time I thought, I'm going to get one for myself as a teaching tool, as a curiosity. And so my souvenir this year is a yad. And you're like, what? What is a yad? Well, a yad comes from the Hebrew word for hand. The Hebrew word for hand is yad. And it is in reference to this object here. This is a yad, and it is a teaching device. Did I say teaching? I meant pointing. It is a pointing device that is meant to be used when the Torah is read. Now, the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These are traditionally held to be the words of Moses as God inspired him. He would have been the author of these books. And the conservative Jews only adhere to these 5 books of the law. Now, other Jews hold to the words of the prophets. However, the most ultra-Orthodox only adhere to the first 5 books of what we call the Old Testament. When they read it, they use this device, one similar. You can actually point to the text with almost anything. This one here you can see is encrusted with some colored stones. I don't know that they're authentic. They're probably glass. This is a very inexpensive device. You see the hand at the end. That's why it's called a yad, is because yad means hand, and you can see the finger pointing. So it is supposed to be held and point to the text as you're reading it. The Jew is not supposed to use his finger to follow along with the text on a scroll, because this would damage the scroll. It would be diminishment of the Word of God. So they utilize an object to point to the text as they're following along when it's being read or when they're reading it. This is what happens. And I thought that's a great souvenir. It's a good example of the way the Jews try to protect the Word of God, preserve the Word of God. It's all out of good intent. Sometimes it gets kind of stilted. They think that if they have kept the Word of God, never killed anyone, never stolen, that they're really a fine Jew. Give us a pat on the back because we're such lovely people. The problem is, Jesus in Matthew chapters 5 through 8 extend this exponentially. He points out that it's not just what's happening externally, like the outward keeping of the law, it's the internal keeping of the law. So, for instance, you have heard it said that you shall not kill. And Jesus says, he who hates his brother is a murderer. Even goes to the point of using the term for airhead. Anyone who says raka is liable to judgment. The word raka was Aramaic for airhead. So you can see how extended Jesus' application of the law is. In other words, no one passes. We're all sinners. We all must rely solely on the grace of God. So I thought that this little hand pointer device was an excellent reminder of all these things, and it will go on a shelf in my office. If you'd like to see it sometime, come on by and stop in my office, and you'll see this and other curiosities that have been collected in order to deepen our faith. Blessings.